Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You. Yes, you. You right there. I know that you have been guilty of this. Somebody comes up to you and you're having a conversation and they ask you, they're like, oh, what do you do? And you think about it for a second. You're like, oh, I make things, I guess, I write a little bit and I sculpt a little bit, I do this and I do that. And they look at you and they're like, oh, so you're an artist, right? And then you go, oh, no, me, no. I'm not an artist. I couldn't be something like that. No, I'm a creative, I guess, I'm a content creator. I'm not an artist. I want to be very clear with you. Look at me. I want to be very clear with you. Stop it. Stop it. Right now. For yourself. For your own well-being, stop it. Astaghfirullah. Do you make things? Do you make things? Do you sit down or you stand up or you make things? Whether it's you're writing something, or you're making music, or you're performing something, or you're acting, or you're filming something, or you're fucking doing something on Canva, you're making something, right? You're creating something? Yeah, what is that? Let me open up the dictionary real quick and see what the definition of what it means to be someone who creates things. You wanna know what that is? That's an artist. Yeah, an artist. You are an artist. And I am fucking tired of you acting like you're not. I am so tired of you acting like you're not. Acting like you are so beneath that. There's absolutely no way that you could be an artist. You could be anything else, right? You're a content creator. You would rather probably say you're an influencer than say you're an artist, right? Right? And what is this? Because you think that it makes you look humble, right? You think that it makes you look good? Okay, here's the thing. Look. I know it's not because you're doing it intentionally to look a certain way, all right? I doubt that you're doing it as like a sort of like humble brag sort of thing. I think it's because genuinely, when you hear the word artist and you see a picture of yourself and you put the two of them together, you don't feel right? You feel sick. You feel there's no way that could be me. That's not me. I'm not an artist, right? An artist is someone over here, right? This famous person over here, this person with millions of fans who has millions of dollars, whose name is etched in the history books of all these different art books. They're an artist, right? They're an artist. But I'm not an artist. Why? Why do you do this to yourself? Why do you do this to yourself? Do you really think it's helping your self-esteem? Do you really think it's helping you, the fact that you feel guilty? You feel so guilty and self-conscious about the very thing that you do? The very thing that gives you so much life? I mean, why do you create things in the first place? Is it simply just because it makes you money? Do you spend all of your free time writing things or making things because it makes you money? No. You do it because you love it. You do it because there's something in you, there's something in your very soul, in your very heart that calls you to do this, that calls you to express yourself, to release some form of yourself, to have some sort of expression that you're able to put out into the world, some form of communication which the world is able to see and look at it and then reflect back at you at it, right? Art, right? It's art. You're an artist. Here's the thing. Speaking of being an artist, real quick, I'm making a film, The Great Autistic Love Story, Girls Own the Void. We have an Indiegogo campaign going for it right now. But the thing is, we only have 4 days left. I have to make this film in order to graduate from my MFA program. But most importantly, if we don't get the amount of money raised, or even somewhat close to it, we literally can't go forward with production. Mainly it's paying people for food. Apparently when people work for you and stuff like that, you have to feed them. That's a novel concept. Maybe I should just be a good little capitalist and be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No food for you, no benefits for you, but work for me. So because I wanna be a good person and feed my crew, I actually need the money to have this happen. So if you wanna support an autistic artist today, or if you wanna support an artist today and take the message of this video to heart, maybe please considering in the link in the description, donating to my Indiegogo campaign for my film. Okay, back to the video, thank you. Here's the thing. I know that it's because you feel self-conscious about it. All right, and I have been there too, where I was like, if somebody like called me an artist, it almost seemed like it was like an insult, like they were making fun of me. Like, oh yeah, Camilla, an artist, right? But the thing is that you need to take pride in your work. You need to take pride in what you do, right? Because no one else is gonna take pride in it for you, right? No one else is gonna look at you and take pride in it for you. I mean, the thing is, right? The thing is that you think that it would make you seem egotistical, right? That you would seem egotistical and that everybody would look at you as if you're an asshole if you called yourself an artist, right? Can you believe this over here? Did you hear Terry? Terry called himself an artist. Oh my God. Can you believe that Stacy called herself an artist? Wow. So full of themselves, right? So stupid. First of all, I doubt that most people would actually view you that way if you called yourself an artist. And if they did, they're a fucking asshole or a bitch and you don't want that person in your life to begin with, all right? You need to take respect of your own work, the things that you make, right? This is your self-expression. This is the thing that you are being called to. Whether you want to believe it's God or the universe or whatever, there is something that is calling you, some sort of primal urge and connection that you have with another realm that is calling you to do this. And I know how much love you feel when you're actually able to do it. When you're able to really get into that flow state of when you're making what you're making, that you feel so great. It makes you feel like you're on top of the world, like you can conquer anything. When you can write the thing that you really want to write, when you have these amazing ideas, when you're able to take something from your head and make it into a reality. That's something that you love. You need to respect it because that's ultimately you respecting yourself and respecting your own abilities as an artist. Being an artist by calling yourself an artist, all right? I think there is this idea that we have that like ego in and of itself is bad, right? The best thing you want to do is be humble. You want everyone around you to think that, wow, this person is so nice and humble, right? But the thing is that really, we are all taught that, right? But it's all about just making ourselves seem small, about making ourselves seem insignificant. That's what humble really means. I'm so small and insignificant compared to everyone else that you shouldn't notice me and you shouldn't pay me any mind and you shouldn't pay me any attention. No, you're an artist. You are making things. That is the way that you communicate with the world. You shouldn't denigrate that. You shouldn't denigrate this thing that you love so much, this thing that brings you so much purpose in your life. You shouldn't be denigrating that because that's you denigrating yourself. That's you trying to make yourself smaller because that's what everybody else would like, right? No, fuck them. Fuck those motherfuckers. You need to be proud in your art. You need to be proud in the things that you're doing because who else is going to be proud in it for you, right? Maybe you'll have some other people like you who in your life will be like somewhat supportive of you, but when you're really down in the dumps, right? When you've been in the dumps of like writer's block and you're like, you have this feeling of like, maybe I'll never get it back. Maybe I'll never get that spark back, that spark that I had. Maybe it'll never come back. The only way for you to get that back, for you to break your writer's block is for you to believe in yourself, for you to believe in your artistic ability, the ability that you have to communicate with the world in this other sort of way, to communicate with yourself and what's in your heart and what's in your soul and be able to communicate with the world, put those two things together and make your art. You can only break out of that. You can only truly make the art that you want to make if you have confidence in yourself, if you have confidence in the things that you're doing and the ability you have to make it. I completely understand the feeling of feeling like you're not good enough. The feeling like there's all these other people and they're actually good, right? They can call themselves artists because they're actually good, but I'm not fucking good, right? And we take this with all of our individual things too, right? Like say you're a writer. You might not even call yourself a writer, right? Somebody else that you might see as like successful, that person's a writer, but I'm not a writer. I do it on my off time and I do it when I'm not working and I write a little bit here and there. Oh, I guess I'm writing a novel, but it's not, I'm not really a writer. Like, motherfucker, you're writing a novel. You're writing a fucking novel. Oh, but you're not a writer? Like, this is the saddest thing. The thing that makes me the angriest and it makes me the saddest in this entire world is when I'm talking to somebody, right? And I'm asking them like about themselves and stuff like that. And they'll bring something like that up. Like, oh yeah, I do a little bit of writing on the side. And I ask them about it and they're like, oh yeah, I'm writing this, this novel kind of thing. And, I have some ideas for it and stuff like that. And I can tell that they have been thinking about this idea. They have been thinking about this novel for years. For years, they have been thinking about every little intricate detail of this novel. The characters, the themes, the plot, the twists, how amazing it'll feel when we follow this character who reveals this one thing to this character, and then the whole audience will be like, oh my god, that's insane, all these sorts of things. I know they have thought about this for hours and days and weeks and years, right? And then, where's the book? Cool, great, where's the book? I want to read that. Where's the book? Oh, it's not here yet. Why is it not here? It's not here because you don't view yourself as a writer, and because you don't view yourself as a writer, you don't view yourself with the confidence you need to actually sit down and fucking write the full thing and actually release it. So because you don't have the confidence, it all just stays inside your brain. Maybe you write a little bit here, and you write a little bit there, but you convince yourself that I'm not really a writer, so why should I even put the effort into it anyway? And because of that, there is this idea in this person's head, which I know, if they were able to actually get it out, could fucking change the fucking world, right? It would relate to people in so many ways, and people would be like, wow, I've never read something like this before. I've never experienced a story like this before. I've never had myself be reflected back in this piece of writing ever before. It's groundbreaking. It's changed my life. It saved my life. You know, I was gonna, go over here and make this terrible decision in my life, but I read this book, and I learned the lesson that the character in the book learned, and now I don't want to do that with my life. I want to live a different life now because I read this fucking book, right? I can see that if they just believed in themselves and took themselves seriously and viewed themselves as an artist, then they would actually be able to do this, release this thing in the world, and it would actually have an amazing impact. But they don't. They don't, because they're not artists and they're not writers. It's just a little hobby. It's just a little thing on the side, right? And I know that you could be like, wow, Camille, you're kind of acting like a bitch. I'm acting like a bitch because I want you to wake the fuck up. I want you to wake the fuck up, and I want you to, whatever it is that you do, whether you're a writer or a painter or a musician or a filmmaker or fucking whatever it is that you do that you don't view as real, that you don't view yourself as real, I want you to fucking take it seriously, all right? Take this shit fucking seriously. Do it for me. You see how upset I am? Do you see how upset I am? Don't you want to make me happy? If the only thing that matters to you is making other people happy, and that's why you have this whole bullshit humble thing, then why don't you think about making Auntie Camille happy, think about making me happy, and go and do it. And go and look in the mirror and say, hi, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. And yes, the first time that you say it to somebody when you're having a conversation, you're going to feel that ick, right? You're going to feel shitty, and you're going to feel like, wow, they probably think I'm an asshole, right? You're going to have all these same internal thoughts. I had the same thing, but just do it anyway. Still, be like, hi, my name's Kaylee, and I'm an artist. My name's Kaylee, and I'm a writer. That's me. That's how you should introduce yourself to people if you're meeting someone for the first time. Hi, I'm Kaylee, and I'm a writer. Hi, I'm Kaylee, and I'm a filmmaker. That's how you should introduce yourself to people. Because if you don't take it seriously, this thing that should be one of the most important things to you, right? Because while I believe that everybody is creative, I do think that some people have more of a natural affinity towards it than other people. It doesn't mean that I think that anybody, if they truly sat down and tried, could do it, right? I think it's bullshit, not to go off on another tangent, but I think it's bullshit whenever you hear people that are like, oh, I can't sing. They say, I can't sing. Well, yeah, you can't sing because you've never really tried to sing before. The few times that you've tried to sing, you heard yourself for a little bit and you got so self-conscious and you heard how bad you were because you've never sang before in your entire life. So of course, you're probably not going to be on time and you're not going to be on the right pitch. And you're like, oh yeah, I guess I can't sing. Well, motherfucker, if I'm a toddler and I've never walked before and I walk for the first time, guess what? I'm gonna fall over. Should I then look at that toddler and tell that toddler, hey, I guess you can't walk because you tried to walk once and you weren't able to do it, so you should never walk again? No, it's just the first time you do it, you're gonna fuck up. It's like literally inevitable. Just keep doing it, right? But so people who are like, oh, I can't sing, that's bullshit. Yes, you actually can. If you actually put in the time and the effort to do it, I'm sure that you would be able to learn how to sing, right? Maybe there's some people, I agree, there's some people who maybe have more of a natural affinity towards it than others. Maybe this person has to work at it a little bit harder than this person. That's definitely true. I'm not trying to say that that form of talent doesn't exist, but anybody can literally do anything in that sort of way. But anyway, if you do have the natural affinity, if it's been something of like, ever since you were a kid, you've dreamed of yourself being a writer, or ever since you were a kid, you dreamed of yourself being a painter, or whatever. Like, that means that you already have this natural sort of pull to it that a lot of other people don't have. And that is your soul's way of telling you, that is the universe, God, whatever's way of telling you that, like, please, you have this gift to communicate in this way, to see things in this way. Not everybody has that, right? Not everybody has the eyes of a photographer, the eyes of a filmmaker. People can learn it definitely, but a lot of people, they have the eyes, right? They just see things and it's like, oh, I understand, I can frame it. They interact with some people and they're like, oh, I see how that could be like a story beat in this thing. I see how it could be this thing. I see how it could be this thing, right? That's how your mind's working, right? Because your mind is working on this like soul level. It's on this like soul level, and that is an incredibly important and amazing thing, all right? And I don't want you to give that up. I don't want you to give that up because I know that you have lived your life and people have talked shit to you. They have talked shit to you and they have tried to get you to stop, right? They try to get you to stop because secretly they're afraid of you. They're afraid of the fact that you are out here trying to do something, and that makes them feel self-conscious. So when you're a little kid, they bully you into it. They bully you out of it. They bully you and they tell you that, you know, and these people could be your parents, they could be your family members, they could be other kids. I was bullied for this by my family, by other kids in the same way of like, Kimia, that's stupid. You really want to be a filmmaker? That's stupid. You're a filmmaker? That's stupid. Why don't you get a real job, right? All these sort of things to try to make sure that my self-esteem, and especially my self-esteem as an artist, got chipped away one block at a time, one block at a time, one block at a time, so that it gets to the point where there was a few years in my life where I just gave up with filmmaking because I thought, you know what? I couldn't do it. Maybe what everybody's saying is true and I can't do it, right? You have all these other amazing directors and writers and they're filmmakers. They're artists, but I'm not. I'm just playing pretend. I'm just fucking around, you know? And do I really want to try? I mean, what? I could go out to LA and then everybody's just gonna laugh at me. And they're all just gonna look at me, you know? Fucking Steven Spielberg's gonna walk up to me and be like, wow, Camilla, you really thought that you could be a filmmaker like me? And then everybody laughs, right? Everybody laughs and I go and I run away and I cry, right? That's what I legitimately, for the first few years of my adulthood, thought. Legitimately, right? I wouldn't have phrased it like that, but that's how I really felt. I felt like if I actually tried, if I actually grabbed the camera and tried to do something and put my heart and soul into something and actually be serious about it and take myself seriously, that it would be a disaster. That people would laugh at me, that I'd be a laughing stock. And why would I want to deal with that? Why would I want to feel that? Do I really want to feel that? I already feel like a piece of shit. I already feel worthless. So do I really want to put myself in a situation to make myself feel worse? So for years, I didn't do it. For years, I tried to do other jobs. I tried to give up being a creative. I tried to say, yeah, that's not for me. I need a real job. And you know what? All those years in my early adulthood, I was fucking miserable. I was miserable, right? I felt like my life had no meaning, that my life had no purpose, because I had something. I had something that was my way of communicating with something deeper, not just on a level of ideas, in the level of emotions, in the level of feelings, in the level of themes and ideas and souls, really. A communication with my soul and everyone else's like soul. That's really what art is. It's like soul communication. But I said that that wasn't for me because I was too afraid of failure. And you know what? One day I realized that that was fucking stupid. That was fucking stupid. And you know what? Maybe I would go and be a filmmaker and I would fail. Maybe I would do it and I would fail and that would all happen. But like literally the only way that I would know that that could happen is if I tried it. Maybe I'll try it and that happens and everybody laughs me out of town. Yeah, maybe. I guess I'll try it to see if that happens. And guess what? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And you know what? The first few times that I tried like making films, a lot of things went wrong. And it was very hard. It was very hard. And I'll be honest, most of that time, I kept questioning myself of like, why am I doing this? Why am I in film school? I keep making things and they fucking suck. Maybe what everybody said is true and I fucking suck and I can't do it. But I just kept doing it. I guess out of some quiet desperation, or what I now realize is actually my soul trying to be like, no, Camille, let's just keep going the course. Let's just keep going the course. Let's just keep doing it. Please, please just believe in yourself. Please just believe in me. Please, please. And I just kept telling it like, no. But you know what? I was there for my soul enough. I was like, fine, I guess, whatever. I'm already in film school. I guess I'll just keep doing the classes and keep making films. And then I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And just like a person who the first time that they sing, it's horrible and it's out of key, and then they sing again, and they sing again, and they sing again, and they get better. Just like a baby who, for the first time they try to walk, they wobble and they fall over, and then they walk again, and they walk again, and they walk again, and sure, they fall again, and they fall again, but then they start to walk better, and walk better, and walk better. I realized that, like, I'm really good at this shit. I'm really fucking good at this shit. I am a filmmaker. I've always been a filmmaker. It wasn't like I passed a test one day and that made me a filmmaker. I've always been a filmmaker. I've been a filmmaker since the day I was born, and I've been an artist since the day that I was born. I've always been an artist. I was born an artist. And you were born an artist too. You don't have to pass a test to prove that you're an artist. You don't have to get an award to prove that you're an artist. You don't have to make a certain amount of money to prove you're an artist. You've always been an artist. You've been an artist since the day that you were born. Your soul is the soul of an artist. That is who you are. And I want you to take that shit seriously. All right? Don't be like me and waste so many years of your life denying it. And you probably have already wasted years of your life denying it, and that's okay. Like, I'm not trying to, I know I'm very aggro right now. I'm not trying to be mean, right? I've done the same thing. But like, why not today be the day that you stop doing that shit, right? There was the past when you denied yourself your artisthood, you denied yourself your soul. Now it's over. Auntie Camilla told you about this. You can't keep running from this anymore because I told you about this. We had a talk, face to face, we had this talk, so now you know. So now you can go on with the rest of your life. The rest of your life proudly being an artist. Proudly being who you are, what your soul naturally is. You. You're an artist. Take it seriously. Because no one else is going to take it seriously. No one else is going to be there for you in the same way that you need to be there for yourself. Be there for your soul. Be there for your inner child. Be there for your inner artist. Be there for yourself. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm obliged. So. There's nothing in this, by the way. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.